Hannibal of Carthage faces a Roman army at the Battle of Trebia.
Arnie, charge.
Charge! All everything?
Yes.
Today, the battle will be re-fought by a studio team who will test their military skill and tactics against the great legionary army of Rome. This is a battle to the death. This is Time Commanders. With Eddie Mayer in our 21st Century Military Command Centre are an amateur dramatics group from Manchester.
Now, you're all together not because of the jobs you do. I've checked, and they're dull. Apart from yours, Robert. You work in women's underwear or something?
Not quite. Ladies' handbags, but I don't actually work in them. I sell them, so.
OK, but it's amateur dramatics that bring you together. Manchester?
Just south of, in Cheshire.
Oh, so sort of off Manchester Broadway?
Yes.
Among your ambition, Simon, is to sing in a big band like Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
Can you sing?
Yeah.
It's a
well,
start.
I think I can.
Rob, your ambition is to appear in a Shakespeare play in Stratford? On Avon?
Hopefully.
You've done Napoleonic reenactments all around Europe. What does that involve exactly?
Dressing up as a Napoleonic soldier and firing muskets at other Napoleonic soldiers and trying to kill them.
Aidan, your ambition to win the FA Cup and land on the moon?
Yes, absolutely.
Fantasist. And Rani, you've got a skill which could prove very useful here. What is it? I hope you think of the one I'm thinking of.
You might be talking about chess.
Chess?
Yeah.
You're a champion.
Well, I used to play chess rather a lot, and then once I did actually represent England.
What makes a successful chess player?
There's different types of chess players. I was a pretty kamikaze one, and I aimed everything straight for the king, because that was how you won the game. And then there was the sort of strategy people who sort of like to move things around and bore you to death. But I think a good chess player is someone who goes out and just blitzes their way through.
There are two gentlemen standing behind you who know everything there is to know about history. There they are. Have a look at them. Give them a wave. That's Arik and Mike.
Dr. Arik Nussbacher, Senior Lecturer in War Studies, Royal Military Academy, Sandhurst. Mike Lowes, Specialist in Historical Weapons.
There's nothing they don't know about history. Ask them a question about history. Go on, anything you like. Dates, battle history.
Go on, Rob.
Battle of Agincourt, when was that?
25th of October, 1415.
You see?
That's pretty good.
All right.
Did you know the answer to that, Rob?
No.
Now I'm going to give you some clues about the battle you are going to fight from history. Grab hold of those clipboards because they're going to prove essential later. Take as many notes as you can during the next few minutes as you find out more about what lies ahead. You're going to be in charge of Hannibal fighting the Romans in the Battle of Trebia. Have a look.
The year is 218 BC. The place is the River Trebia in modern-day Italy. On one side, an army of the Roman Republic. On the other side, the North African Empire of Carthage, which dominates the Western Mediterranean. 40 years earlier, Rome had clashed with Carthage in the First Punic War. After 23 years of fighting, Carthage suffered a crushing defeat. But then a 27-year-old Carthaginian general rose to power and plotted his bloody revenge on Rome. His name was Hannibal. Hannibal's first move against Rome was to sack the Roman-held city of Saguntum, not far from modern-day Valencia. Rome was enraged. The Second Punic War had begun. Hannibal's strategy was to take the war to the enemy. In spring 218 BC, his army, including a few dozen war elephants, set out on an epic march across the Alps to invade Italy. During the treacherous 5-month-long march, Hannibal lost troops, supplies, and elephants. By the time his army entered Italy, it had been reduced to just 26,000 men. However, in Hannibal's first brief encounter with the Romans, he used his agile Numidian cavalry to ambush and outflank a small Roman force. Rome was alarmed by Hannibal's bold invasion and sent 2 legions to deal with him once and for all. The leader of this force was the Roman consul, Sempronius Longus. A Roman legion consisted of 5,000 men, including light and heavy infantry, with cavalry and support. A common Roman battle tactic was to march the almost unstoppable legions forward in an attempt to overwhelm the enemy with brute force. But this Roman army contained many new recruits, inexperienced in battle. In the winter of 218 BC, Longus and his reinforcements joined 2 other Roman legions on a wide plain in northern Italy. The river Trebia, which cuts through the plain, is freezing cold but fordable. The Roman commander Longus is an aggressive and arrogant leader. He values quick confrontations, and he's desperate to fight, knowing that victory at Trebia will bring him personal glory and wealth. And Longus has good reason for optimism. He has 40,000 infantry, 10,000 more than Hannibal. But the Roman cavalry is weak, tired, and reluctant to make detailed scouting expeditions, assuming that an ambush on the open plain is impossible. Hannibal is camped just a few miles away across the river Trebia. Hannibal's infantry, the survivors of the long Alpine crossing, are the best, toughest, and most loyal of all his soldiers. And his large elite cavalry is unparalleled. If the Roman army is victorious, Hannibal's dream of conquering Italy could be gone forever. If Hannibal wins, he will be able to threaten the Republic and even Rome itself. The stakes are high. Battle is imminent.
It's pretty, isn't it, in the snow? What did you learn there?
That their cavalry is weary. Our cavalry, I think, is the key. We've certainly got the better cavalry by a long, long way, and they've got new recruits in their army, so...
We've also got good, strong infantry as well.
We have, and they're Alpine survivors, and they're battle-seasoned.
All right, team, you now have 15 minutes to gather information and come up with a strategy. The battle could be won or lost from the decisions you make during this phase. So in the next 15 minutes, you have to become familiar with the terrain, get detailed information about your own army, and then the enemy army, and then decide your battle plan. So there's not much to it, and your 15 minutes start now.
Let's have a look at where this battle's going to be fought. Have a look at this. Okay, that's the lay of the land. What do you instantly get from that?
Big plain in the middle here, and there's a river to the north.
The Trebia here, yep.
Yeah.
Certainly the plain is going to be important to use the cavalry.
Yeah.
Yes.
And keep the cavalry away from these woods and hills.
Yeah.
So far, Simon and Rob have both very quickly identified key features of this map and how they relate to the troops they have available.
Really? So it's fordable, but it's freezing cold.
Yes.
I think we should try and make the enemy come across it.
Yeah, let them come to us.
Which is an option, but then I think there'd be more use out on the plain.
You are already both acting like generals. How are you going to split it?
Rob and I are going to be the generals, and those guys are going to be the lieutenants.
Okay. And they hope that we do what they want us to do.
Yes, well, we're all acting on initiative.
Yeah.
So
You're not going to do as you're told, are you?
There'll be no mutiny.
The generals will have an extra tool at their disposal. Using the big screen, and Adam, our technician back here, you'll be able to have a look at every aspect of the battlefield, really get a view of where you are and what natural parts of the location you might be able to use to your advantage. Have a good scout round. Tell Adam where you would like to look.
Let's look at...
Come on, Napoleon.
Yeah, let's have a